what a surprise in Florida with the nomination going to Gillum.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, it's very surprising that he won. I really thought it was going to be Graham. And this is going to be a really interesting test to see if like the Bernie wing of the party can like win a really competitive general election
against the Trump wing.
Against the Trump, exactly.
Because DeSantis is not a moderate.
No, not at all.
I think he's in the Freedom Caucus.
Yeah, no, he's as far right as I can get. And Gillum's about as far right or far left as the Dems can get. So it's going to be really interesting to see. And he's not like Stacey Abrams, where Stacey Abrams kind of still has a lot of the establishment support. I think Gillum is totally.
Yeah, he's kind. You think he's more like Ben Jealous?
Oh yes, totally.
Because those are the three African Americans I think that are up for governor.
Yeah, he's much more like Ben Jealous or Garcia out in Arizona.
That was the numbers held. You saw that?
Yeah,
Garcia hit 15.
Yeah, that was
didn't move.
Not bad.
That's what we had back in June.
Yeah, those look pretty good.
And then McSally, that wasn't a shocker.
No,
I thought Ward kind of jumped the shark when she did the McCain thing.
Oh yeah, I think she was dead in the water before then. I mean, I think that McSally was able to garner enough support from across the GOP coalition there and I think that Arpaio and Kelly hurt each other both in the race, right?
Right. I think they split the rest of the vote between the two of them.
Yeah, agreed. I think they both hurt each other too. I think that like them attacking each other really hurt their base.
Do you think Ducey will appoint a moderate or a more, conservative?
That's a really good question, because I think that Ducey now might realize that he's in a competitive governor's race this year, so he could, to kind of bring over more like moderate voters, nominate like someone like McCain's wife, or he could just nominate a very strong
stick
conservative.
True to that conservative base. I was researching him, and there's something called the Border Strike Force, which I really think like all this border talk is really going to be interesting, especially with Garcia, who's a Latino candidate, and this supporter of open borders. Like that's definitely what they're going to attack him with. So I think.
I think he's for the elimination of ICE.
Mm-hmm.
That's he's on that wing where it's going to be a good test. I mean, I think it's too far on that wing. We're talking about Arizona.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. Same thing with Florida. I think Florida is more conservative now than maybe where it was. And so if Arizona was moving to the left, I don't know if it'll make a huge jump that far.
It'd be interesting to see how he compares
with Sinema.
Because Sinema's running as like the most moderate candidate, basically. I mean, that's her whole.
Well, that's how normally we see a lot of these races is more in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I think Florida's so interesting.
Yeah. No, those are two good states, and even in Oklahoma.
Oh yes,
that was a competitive runoff.
That was, and I think that's going to be a competitive general election too. So in the future, we might want to pull Oklahoma.
Yeah, and a couple of the congressional races.
Oh yeah.
So in Texas got a few headlines.
Yeah, it did.
Certainly close.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think that it could go either way, right? Because there's so many undecideds. But I think the GOPs might be a little scared. They released a lot of, they tweeted out a lot of anti-Beto stuff this morning, the Texas GOP. Like old pictures of Beto and his like old mugshots and stuff. So I don't know. They definitely.
Mugshots?
Yeah, well, back when he had a DUI arrest, but not a I don't know the whole story, but they tweeted out shots from him when he used to play in a band.
Gotcha.
So they, I think they're taking this very seriously.
Because he's got like that 10-11% nobody heard of,
exactly.
20, yeah. And so, but I figured Cruz is going to have to get real dirty and make it a race like the presidential where you don't want either guy.
Yeah,
because it's going to be hard to bring up his favorables.
It is.
And Cruz is really getting killed with younger voters, especially I think just this weekend there was this very popular video of Beto talking about NFL players kneeling, and just that kind of having that video circulating, it's really attracting young voters, and I think that's why Beto is really just killing it with the young.
Unfortunately,
we'll see if they get out and vote.
Exactly. I was going to say, I think that it's going to be interesting to see how young people vote, which is why I think we should do a national poll next. Get back on the national field, see where the generic ballot is at, see where what we're going to call a presidential generic ballot is. So, Spencer, if you want to talk more about the presidential generic ballot.
Well, yeah, like the congressional ballot where you just say if the generic, if the election was held today, who would you vote for, Republican or Democrat for Congress? Ask the same way for president and see where the country is leaning towards for 2020.
I think it'd be super interesting because we can compare it to how the partisan breakdown is and see if people that identify Republicans would always vote Republican, or if they or maybe vote like winning a different way, and we can also see how independents are leaning. Hopefully, is the idea. Correct me if I'm wrong. But
yeah. I mean, it's just another way to measure the temperature of the electorate. When you're this far out, we're not. Nobody has the party nomination. You have presumed nominees, but that's not the case until obviously the delegates are all counted, and that's going to be an exciting race coming in.
It is
starting on November 7th. I know it's already started, but
officially started November 7th. All right. Well, I can't wait. So for this presidential ballot
national poll. That'll be good. That'll be good. A Labor Day weekend national survey. And, I think we should do some follow-up on the last one where we asked if they were better or worse off than they were 2 years ago.
Yes, we should. After that one got so much attention last time.
But think about some follow-up questions that we'd want to know, like who would you attribute that to? That might be interesting to know.
It would be interesting to see that.
So we'll
how that breaks down.
There. Any thoughts there, Cal?
Yeah, I'm really interested in seeing how independents break. I mean, I feel like Trump has not had a great past few weeks, so I'm interested to see how that affects.
I would agree with you, and I keep watching Real Clear Politics, and it's like every week another quarter or a half point increase in that favor of the approval. Despite, as you said, it's every week you just keep seeing between everything. It's just an interesting phenomenon to watch.
All right, we'll be back Monday with the national poll results.